Welcome. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so let's wait for them to join us for the next 10 minutes and then we'll start.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. How are we doing? How has been your day?
Thank God, it was fine.
All right, awesome. So, okay. I think we are good to go. Good to go. Good to go. Good to go. So, somebody messaged me this afternoon. I don't know if he's here about a particular football club playing today and all of that. I'm not a football fan. That's one, and then secondly, I believe that this is what we are doing here is something that is beneficial, not just you, but your career and whatever you aspire to be. Okay, and there is a reason you sign up for this. I'm saying this just for us to have the idea that um, everything we do, we have to commit to it. All right, we have to commit to it. You can't do well if you can't commit to whatever you are doing. All right, you can't do well if you don't commit. Commitment is very, very important. Okay, very, very crucial. Anybody can just decide, oh, this is not for me, I'm leaving. It's fine, but at the long run you will need to settle down and answer the real question: do you want to grow or remain the same? And it is very important. Okay. um, One of the issue I face with students is commitment. All right, commitment. I wish I can show you some chat. One of my students messaged me. So a day before, he messaged me that he will want the class to hold by 11 a.m. I said no problem, I'll be right here. Only for him to come at exactly 11 a.m. that I should wait till 12 that he wants to eat. And that was the last time I ever have class with him. Okay, I don't care how much you pay, I don't care who you are, as long as you have something to commit to, and you have given, since yesterday you've given me time, I've prepared, ready for you. Say I should give you another 1 hour because you want to eat. It was so hilarious. So I'm saying this because when you get to the program, I have a schedule I will give to you. You have your calendar days, the days the class will be holding. Then you now come to the class that you couldn't come because you went to watch ball. That means there's no commitment. You really do not want to do this. All right. So, and it's very, very important that you commit to whatever we are doing here. Okay. So that is just me telling you that we need to be serious. We need to be committed. That's the key word I'm emphasizing on. All right, let's be committed to whatever we do. Apart from coding, be committed to whatever you do. Okay, commitment pays. It may take long. It may take long, but it pays. I am an evidence of it. All right, commitment pays. Okay, with that being said, and I don't want to bore you, so we have 3 minutes left. Let me still message them in the group. Let's click on. All right, so what are we doing today? Today we will be discussing, I'll be introducing you to Python and its syntax, what it means, how to understand Python. So that's what basically we'll be doing today. And then let me bring out the timetable. By tomorrow, we'll be cleaning and manipulating and analyzing a real-world data set. So please don't miss it. All right. So today we are going to talk about Python basics. We are going to show you how to write Python's code like a pro. Okay. So and then I'm also mindful of time. So I think Google will always give me 1 hour. Okay. So already 53 minutes. So let's see how we maximize the next 1 hour. Okay. With that being said, we are live on YouTube. In case you want to have the recording, you can always go back to YouTube and watch the replay. Okay. And then apart from that, if you have any question, please, my DM is open. Stop me along the way as we progress, and I will be happy to stop and then show you answer your questions and whatever you may be having. All right. Okay, so having said that, it's time for us to code. Window capture. Okay. All right, we are good. Okay, so here, so the first thing I want to say is that Python, like I said yesterday, has so much community, has so much library, and it offers so much opportunity for anyone. So and I made reference that unlike other languages like Java, it is not difficult. You don't need to declare the data type explicitly. You have enough library that makes your work easy and faster. And I also said that if you want to create an application that scales very quickly, Python is your go-to. All right, so that's what I said. So today we are starting with variable. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, can I get a yes? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So let's go. Okay, so what is variable in Python? A variable simply means a container with what? With a value. Okay, a variable is a container with what? A value. What does that mean? So in real life situation, you cannot drink water from your hand. You cannot offer water in your hand to somebody. It has to be in a container. So the container that holds a value is what we refer to as variable. And what are we saying? So let me quickly add this person. All right, so what are we saying? So if somebody, for example, if you want to drink water, for example, you have to put the water inside the cup. The cup is a variable. The water is the cup is the container. The water is the value. So take, for example, we can have a variable like this when we say cup equal to, and then I say water like this. Okay, so the cup here is a container that holds the value. All right, so the equal to here is an assignment operator. The equal to you are seeing here is an assignment operator, and we are using it to assign the value water to the variable called cup. All right, so this is how to create a variable. Okay, and this is what variable means. So if I want to create another variable, for example, and I say name, and then I say equal to John, okay, John like this. So anywhere John is called, you know that it is your name, right? But for the program to know that this is a John, this is John, there has to be what? A container, and this container is what we refer to as what? As name. All right, so the name here is a variable, and then the name here is the container, then John is the value. Then we can also go further. Okay, having understand this, we can also use the built-in function called the print function. Okay, the print is a built-in function that we use to print the value to the console. So can you see very well? Let me zoom a bit. All right. Oh, this is too much. Let me reduce it. All right, I think this is better. So if I print cup, for example, okay, if I print cup, for example, and I run the code like this, and I run the code, it should be able to.
Sorry, I can't see what you are doing.
What? You can see my screen? Hello? Okay. All right, so when I run this code now, so print here is a built-in function, and so I want to get the variable, so I want to be sure I'm in the right directory. That's why I'm doing dir. So yes, I'm in the right directory. So I will now do Python, Okay, I'll call Python. This is one way to run the code. I'll call Python, followed by the name of my file. The name of my file is intro, so I'll say intro. So okay, I need to cd into intro. Intro is a folder, so I'll do cd intro like this, and then inside the intro there is a variables.py. Okay, so I'll say Python. Okay, Python, and then variable like this, boost.py like this. Okay, and once I run it, you can see that it's returning water. Can you see? Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Mangelina, Mark, ask question. Ask your question, Mark.
Okay, now I can see clearly now. I can see it. Because I was not seeing what you were presenting before.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so now we can now see that water is being printed for us. Now, having understand this, I've explained variable and the value, and then the print function. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the data type. The data type. So now I've given an example of what a name, for example. So let's say I want to talk about somebody now. I will say age. Oh, sorry. Let's say age. Okay. So permit me to do all of this, or I will be doing it as I continue. So if I do age, and I'll say equal to 45 or 34, for example. Now let me explain this as I go forward, so I will just not have it. So if this is what we call data type. Data type is a way of you identifying the kind of data you are dealing with. All right. So there are numbers which are integer data type, there are string data type, there are sets, tuple, lists, and the rest of them. Okay, all of these are sets, and they are data type. Sorry, all of these are data types. Okay, so now if you are going to identify a data type, there's one way to know. In case you are dealing with a value that you don't know the type of data it is, you can call the print function. Inside the print function, you pass in the type, and then inside that you now pass in the name of your value. Okay, so the type is a built-in method that is used to identify the type of data you are dealing with. All right, so this is a string data type, this is an integer data type. The integer data type is the one that has to do with number. All right, so if I want to know the data type of these two, for example, I can call the print, and then call the type method, and then pass in the age variable, and then once I run the code, it should be able to tell me the kind of data I'm dealing with. So it's telling me that the first one is class string, and the second one is an integer. All right, then there's another type of data type also. Any data type that has a decimal number is what? Is a float. Take for example, we say height. Okay, if we say height, for example, and we say equal to 3.6 or 3.5, so any number that has a decimal is considered a float. All right, okay, so any number that has what? A decimal is considered a float in Python. All right, so this is a float data type. And then now there is something I need to explain here, so I'm going to use another variable. So I'll call this variable message or text. Let's call it text, and then I'll say equal to, then I'll now call this. Now anything that is inside the, can you mute? Who is this, please? Can you mute? Who is that? Oluwaseun, please mute. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. All right, so the text here, inside this double quote, anything that is inside this double quote is a string. Anything that is inside a single quote is a string in Python, but you can't do this in Java. in Java, anything that is inside a single quote is a char. Okay, it's a char data type, a character data type. Okay, but in Python, anything inside a single or double quote is what? A string. All right. So in the text here, if I say Python is my best language, okay, Python is my best language, like this. Okay, so yes, so if I say this is a string. Now if I remove the double quote and I wrap it around a single quote, I am still going to have, I'm not going to run into an error. All right, so a single quote, a double quote, you can use them in Python, but then there are also limitations. So you must not use a double quote inside a single quote. What do I mean? Take for example, you have a text that is apostrophe. For example, you said, let's say something like my mom said. Okay, let's say my mom said, like this. My mom said, and then we have a double quote like this, and then sorry, so this has to be a double quote. Oh no, yes, so double quotes and then double quotes. So and then inside the quote I'll say that my mom said get out of the bed, so I'll say get out of bed, like this, right? Now this is going to throw an error, so you must always avoid it. Don't have a double quote inside a double quote. If you understand what I just said, repeat after me. What did I say, sir? What did I say? Who understand what I just said?
Don't try a double quote inside.
You are right.
We shouldn't write double quote inside double quote.
So don't have a double quote inside a double quote. You will run into an error. Okay, so whenever you are formatting your string, always know that you should never use a double quote inside a double quote. Inside a double quote, you should wrap it around a single quote like this. Okay, like this. Okay, so that way you are able to quote the person. All right, and then if we run the code like this, you can see what is going to, oh sorry, we need to print text. We say, let's have it like this. Okay. All right, for those of you that are grammarians, you already know when there is need for a double quote and when there is need for a single quote. All right, but that is, as it concerns programming, you must know, okay, that whether you are using double quote or a single quote must not appear in a double quote. Okay, so this is it. Let's not dwell here. Now the same thing is applicable to whenever everything is wrapped around. So if we have a single quote, everything is wrapped around a single quote like this. You should not have a single quote here. Okay, your quote shouldn't have a single quote, so don't have a single quote inside a single quote. Have a double quote inside a single quote. Have a single quote inside a double quote. So here we can say double like this, and then we remove the single quote like this. Okay, and the error has gone, and when we run the code, we should receive our text with the quote like this. Okay, so this is how you can use string. Then another thing we should know is you can format your string. Okay, format your string. Let's say I'll call this variable info, and then I'll say equal to, then I'll say f. I'll call the f format. All right, I'll call the f format and then pass call the string. Now I want to write a statement and use any of these variables. So instead of me calling John and come here and write John, instead of me writing John explicitly, I can use the variable. So how do I do that? I'll just come here and pass in a curly brace like this, and inside it I can pass in the name variable, and I'll write a text like this and say my name, okay, is okay, my name, oh sorry, let's do it like this. My name, this goes up please. Yes, my name is, and I am. So I'll just mix up English. Don't, grammarians, don't come for me this evening. So, and I am okay, so I'll just call the height variable. So let's call the height variable in height like this. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? So this is how to format your string. This is how to use your variable inside your string. All right, so you do that by using a string. If I remove this f, for example, all of this become okay, let's run it and see what we get. So if we run info now, let's run info. So I will say print info, okay, like this, print info, and then let's run our code. Okay, and we run our code. So look at what is returning to us. Are you seeing? It's saying my name is name and I am height in height. So you cannot format your string without the f string. So once we put the f string, we will now run our code again, and then we can now read a complete sentence that said my name is John and I am 3.6 in height. All right, so this is how to your variable in your string. Now this is possible as from Python 3.10, 3.11, 12. In Python 3.9, the method is quite different. You will need to write something like this, then put remove the f from here, then put something like dot format, right? You put dot format, okay, dot format, and then you pass in the real value inside here. All right, but then in 3.10, 11, 12 that we are on now, you don't need to do all of this. And that is the beauty of the Python community that I've been saying, and I'm still saying again. Okay, so that is this about variable. Let me not dwell here. Now can I continue? If I am to continue, tell me continue. Can I continue? Do you have questions?
Question.
Okay, shoot.
What you are trying to clear the variable.
Yes.
I can see that you are just clearing the variable name and then you assign it. You don't put maybe the variable is
Sorry, I'm struggling to get your question. Sorry. I'm not putting what?
What I mean is this. When doing your variable declaration,
Yes.
you just write your variable name, then the assignment sign.
Yes.
Then
Give it the value. Yes.
Part of the variable.
Yes.
Don't put maybe it is string or close.
Okay. All right. Yes. Yes. Now there is a reason for that. Okay, and thank you for bringing that up. It's part of what I would have explained. Thank you for reminding me. All right. So now, Python is so helpful. I'm saying it again. Python is say come as you are. So instead of it doesn't need you to explicitly say that this is a string, this is an integer. So let's say we are creating a boolean now. So we say let's call it answer, for example, and we say equal to. So instead of me to declare the variable and say this is a boolean, okay, this is a boolean, and then say something like this, and then assign the value. Am I even correct? I'm not correct. Like this. Am I? No, I'm not correct. Okay, so equal to, and then you do something like this, and then am I correct? Answer bool, then no. So I don't need to explicitly declare the data type. Okay, Python doesn't care whether you declare the data type or not, but it is very necessary when you are working with other developers. Okay, when you are working with other developers, it is very necessary that you declare it. Okay, but then whether you declare it or not, Python already know the kind of data type you are dealing with as long as it is declared. All right, so it all boils down. So if I come here now and I say yes, okay, and I say yes, for example, I say false, okay, so Python already know that this is a boolean, and for you to know that is what I used the type method before. So if I type here, and then I pass in answer here like this, okay, and I run it, it should be able to tell me that this is a boolean. Are you seeing? So it's telling me that it's already a boolean. So Python already know from inside that you are dealing with a data type. You don't need to explicitly declare the data type. Is that okay, sir? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Alright. So that is it.
Yes.
Okay. So that is that. Now, because of time, let me quickly move on to function, if statement, and all. So we talk about control flow. Please, when you register for my class, I will be able to go deeper than this. Alright. So now, there's what we call control flow, and I always use this example. Take for example, you are sending somebody to buy you bread, butter, and egg. Now, you have to tell this person, you have to give instruction to this person so that this person doesn't buy what you don't want. As programmers, there is a way we think. We don't think like a normal human being. So when you tell somebody, buy me bread, it can be any bread, okay, and it can be of any amount. But if you specifically say that, okay, buy me yale bread, this so and so size, you have specifically informed that person of the kind of result that you want. That is how control flow works in programming. So in programming, you have to tell the computer what you want. So don't just say, if we are saying you are building a voting app now, and we say, or if somebody that should enter a club should be 18 years and above, and we say, let's say club, let's create a variable club. I'll say club, okay, and then equal to let's say truth, right? Let's say true, and then I'll now say if, let me make it age. Let's make it age, okay, so I don't waste time. So let's say 18, for example, and then I want that if the age of this person is less than 18, this person should not allow. I cannot come and be saying if age equal to, okay, all right. Now okay, let me write it first. So equal to 18. All right, what should we do? We should allow the person to enter. So we should print if age is equal to 14. Why is this thing spinning to your long? Okay, just give me a moment. Let me quickly turn this off like this. So now, if we are writing a program that allow us to tell if somebody is 18 years, okay, so if he's an adult, it should be allowed inside. If he's not an adult, it should not be allowed. We can write a program like this, okay? We can write a program like this, and this will let's run this code, and let's see what it will return to us. You to return you are an adult. But what if in a situation that the people that are entering are below 18? What should happen? And that is where we have clauses. Okay, we have clauses that help us to check that, okay, this thing, if it is not like this, it should be this way. So you want to buy bread, butter. So if you did not see butter, buy only bread and egg. In a situation where you do not see egg, don't buy bread. But if you see egg, buy. If you did not see bread, buy only egg. These are conditions, and you have to explicitly tell your program whenever you are building it. All right, this is called control flow. Okay, control the order of your users. Okay, so if age is greater than 18, you should return you are 18 years, you are an adult. All right, else you should say that you are a minor. Okay, so if we now change our date to 10, for example, and I change it to 10, and I run the code again, you can say that it's telling me I am a minor. Why? Because our variable is no longer 18. Okay, do you understand what I'm doing? Any question from here? Hello?
Yes, we have to.
All right. Okay, so now if we now run this code, it should be able to tell us that what you are a minor, okay, and then you will not be able to what to enter the club. So this is it about if statement. Okay, this is it about if statement. Then we also have a function. All right, let me maximize time. So we have also function. Function is a way of you avoiding writing repeated code. Okay, is a way of you avoiding what writing repeated code. What does this mean? If for example I don't want to write a repeated code, so let's say okay, let's give an example. If no what should I use so that it should not be repeat? Okay, so let's say I have x and then equal to 5 and y equal to 10, and then I want to multiply them, and then I'll say m equal to x times y like this, and then I'll now print m. So instead of me writing like this, I can create a function that if I want to repeat this over and over, I don't need to repeat them like this. I don't need to repeat them like this. With one function, I can achieve this in millions times. Alright, so like this. So if I now come and now write a function, I'll say def, and then I'll say multiplication, which I'll just call it mult like this, and then I'll pass in x and y like this. So now like this, and then I will now, this is how to write a function in Python. So the def keyword tells Python what you are about to do, then the name of your function, the function name, and then the x and y. Then it should return the answer with x multiplied by y. So how do you do this? You can do this by calling the function. So if we now call the function, now we call mult like this, okay, and then we can now provide in the square bracket, I can now provide the value for x and y. So in this case, I can say 5. I can say 5 and 10, okay, or 12 for example. So let's put a comma, okay, and then let's run it. Okay, so this one is still there. Let it not see it as a global variable, so let me close it. Okay, so and let's run it, and you can see, oh, okay, so let me print it. Let me wrap it inside a print like this. Okay, and then it's returning 60. Yeah, because 5 times 10 is 50, 5 times 2 is 10, then plus your 5, so that will give us 60. So this is how functions work in Python. Then we can also go further by talking about OOP in Python. All right, in OOP, that is when you are talking about how you use objects to represent real life scenario. Okay, and what does this mean? So if you are building an application for students, for example, and you have your student, you have your lecturers, you have your subject or courses, and then you have all of these as objects. All right, so the class is the template, and then the object you create from it is the real thing you are building. So take for example, I want to create a class of let's say dog. I thought I turned this thing off now. Sorry, disable. Okay, so let's say class dog. Okay, class dog for example, and then we now do something like this, and then here we are now going to create a constructor. Okay, so there's what we call a constructor in, so we do a redundant init. Okay, hello, can you hear me, sir? Are you with me? It's blurry.
The sound is not clear enough.
Oh, sorry. Maybe it's internet. Or let me zoom it. Let me zoom it again. Let me zoom it.
Is there any sign when you declare that your class dog? After dog, is there any sign there?
Yes. There's a colon.
Colon, okay.
Yes. So this is what the colon is what you use to tell Python. All right. So now, if I create a class dog, for example, and then I create a def, and then I have a redundant in it, okay. So sorry, there has to be a space between them. So def, and then so now this redundant in it is what we call a constructor. So it's a built-in method that allow you to be able to create. Hello. Okay. So this is a constructor. Yeah?
I said we are with you.
Okay. So this is a constructor that allow you to be able to create or to create a method that has, and I say it's a built-in method, okay? So it's a special kind of method. It's different from the ones that you create, but this is used for you to be able to initialize your class with the information, with the data. And there's something I did not explain when it comes to OOP and object. So there, when we are creating your object, two things are very, very crucial: a method, okay, and the information. All right, the information is what you use to know, okay, about your class. Then the method is the function of that class. So take for example, we can call class dog. A dog has a name, Abi. So we can say name. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I can pick it here. So a dog has a name like this. Okay, so a dog has a name. A dog has an age or location or color. So let's just say color and stop there for now. Now I've been able to create the constructor. Okay. Now the self keyword here is a very special kind of keyword. So you, without the self, you won't be able to reference. So you are using the self to reference to each of these name. So if I come here and I say self, and I call the dot, okay, dot name, and then I'll say equal to name. All right. Then so what I'm doing, I'm using self to reference to the name or to the information of my class. All right. So I can do the same with the color. So I'll do self dot color, okay, and I'll say equal to color, for example. Okay. Now we can now continue. So I've been able to create a class. I've been able to create a constructor with the information of my class, right? And then I'm referencing each of the information with a variable like this, okay? Now, if I want to create a method back, for example, how do I do it? Remember that Python is a functional functional language, all right? So if I do def and I say def back, for example, okay, back, all right, and then I want to do like Java now. What is it called? So now I can come here and print the dog is barking like this. Remember your data type again. So here I can come here and say double quote, the dog is barking like this. Okay, so this is how you create your method. Okay, now I can call this the self here. So every method that you create, you must have your self keyword inside your method like this. Okay, so every method that you create always have your self keyword, all right, your self reference. Okay, now I can even reference, instead of me having this dog here, or okay, the dog here, I can even say let me format it with a name. Okay, I can do something like this and then replace here with the dog name. So I can do curly braces and then I'll do self and then I'll call the dot what, the dot name. So instead of saying dog, I can just print the name of the dog. It's backing. Do you understand? Any question from here? Do you understand what I'm doing? Hello? Hello, anyone? Do you understand what I'm doing? Any question from here? Can I continue? Hello? Oh gosh.
Yeah, we are here.
Okay, you can hear me. You understand what I'm doing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello?
Okay, I think it's network. Okay, so let me so now that I'll be able to create this method, I can call this method like this. So if I come here, so I cannot, nothing will happen here. So I just printed and nothing happened. So nothing will happen here unless you create an object of the class. So how do you do it? So we now want to create an object of our class, and then we can give our class name a. So let me make it capital letter. Okay, then here I'll now come and call the dog. I'll say bingo. Okay, I'll call it bingo and then I'll say equal to what, dog. Okay, and then now inside this dog object, so now what I'm doing in this line is I am creating an object of a dog. Okay, so a dog has a name, so I'll call the name. Okay, in this case, what's the name? Let's call it bingo, right? Okay, and then the color is let's say purple. All right, like this. So and then if we decide to let me see. Okay, so let's print bingo. Let's print bingo. So if we print bingo, for example, like this, bingo, okay, and then we run it. Okay, so it's going to give us the main memories. It's going to give us a memory address. So for us to avoid that, we need to provide a string method, a toString method. So what does it mean? So a toString method helps us to return a string value of our object. So how do we do it? So we'll now do str. Also it starts to be def, then redundant in it, redundant string, okay, and then it should return so what should they do here? Okay, I don't want it to, it shouldn't pass, so let's print the dog. Okay, so let me just say to print the dog and the name. Okay, so f, so we say self.name, self, oh sorry, yes, curly braces, so we say self.name and then self.color, like this, self.color. Okay, is that what I have been typing? God be praised. Is that the color I've been using? Okay, there's R, so R here. Okay, and then let's run the code again. And okay, all right, so the color is throwing an error, so it has to be somewhere I'm using that color wrongly. Okay, so the color CLO, and then so what is the error saying? Self.color, dog object has no attribute color. Do you mean color? Okay, so the time is going. How many minutes do I have left? 12 minutes. Okay, so this is where I will end the class, chat. So now let's quickly correct that. Where is it seeing this color? Self dot color here. Self dot name. Okay. Oh yes. Okay, so I was having color here without the R. So now that I've corrected it, let's run it again. And there we are. Is in return non-string data type. Bingo. Okay, yes. So let's not print this. Let's not print this. Let's run our code. So by now it should return the string value. Okay. So I'll call the object now. I'll call the object of our class. I'll call bingo like this, and then call the name. So if I call name, it should return the name. Okay. If I call any of the method, sorry, let me print. Please, are you with me? Oh, I'm not talking to myself. Are you following?
Yeah, continue.
All right. Okay, so you can see that I'm calling the name on the object. Remember what I said on this line. Okay, I said that I am creating an object of the dog with the name and the color, which is what the variable we created here at first. And then I created a method back, which will return the name of the dog is backing. And then I'm creating a toString, which will avoid us printing the memory address. So, and then I'm creating the object of the class, and then providing the actual value, which is bingo and purple for the name and color. Then I want to get the name of the dog, so I call the object I've created now, which is bingo, and then I'm using the dot to provide the name. Okay, so if I want to get the color, for example, if I want the dog to back, for example, I'll call this method back the same way. So I'll call bingo. Okay, bingo like this, and then I'll call the method back like this. Okay, and once I run it, let's run it. So you can see that the bingo is backing. Okay, so this is how OOP works in Python. When we go deep, I will tell you about encapsulation, abstraction, and what's it called, polymorphism. All right, all of these are relevant. Yes, you want to ask a question, please shoot. Yes, ask your question.
Yes, I want to ask that. So we can say that the backing method is that method back.
Yes.
It's like an attribute of class dog.
Yes, it's an attribute because every dog back, so you can create it.
Okay.
Yeah, any other question? Any other person? Are you not the one that just spoke? Okay, so please, I will end the class here. Thank you so much. And this is the introductory to how to write your Python and your Python class. Alright, so this is how to write your Python code. It is very simple to understand. All you need is somebody that will guide you, somebody that you can ask a question where you are wrong. And what I'm offering you is not just come and learn and go. I'm giving you an opportunity to stay where you will get the mentorship, the community you need to grow in your Python journey. Alright. So we have people that are currently, there are a set of people that are undergoing the 12 weeks data science class right now. Okay, and then there are others that have graduated. So these are communities that you belong to. So I want you to know that if you decide to register for the 12 weeks class, you are going to enjoy so much. All right, so I've been able to explain Python, introduce you to data type, introduce you to OOP, introduce you to function. All right, so and these are very, very core. Control flow in Python, these are very, very core in every programming language. All right, So thank you so much for joining me here. If there is yes, ask your question.
Yeah, I want to please. So it's a matter of a request.
Okay. Go on. Go on. Time is going. Hello? Okay. We have 7 minutes left. I'm not hearing you.
As in, what I mean is this: help us to provide the for like a song now. To see what you've done, like notes, online notes.
Oh, okay. Something like what I've done now. You want to have access to it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll send it. I'll drop the link. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are on YouTube and you are listening to me, thank you for joining me. If you have been there till this moment, I really appreciate you. Thank you for honoring me and being in this class. This means so much to me. All right. But if you are interested in the continued class, the 12 weeks data science class, please kindly send a DM. Which language are you teaching for us? Okay, Saeed Naim is a Python. Alright, I don't know if you are hearing me. This is your work. Okay. I'm teaching Python. Alright. So yeah. So this is Python. If you are interested in my 12 weeks, please kindly indicate, send me a DM, and the link will be provided for you. It is affordable, and I promise you, you won't regret coming to my class. Alright, because it's going to be a long ride. Thank you so much, and do have a pleasant day. Tomorrow we are going to be analyzing and visualizing data. Please